Hey, Don Copeland here. Today we were printing on our 1200S, the big boy of the compress line of printers, and we're actually doing a physical sample for a customer. He wanted to see how it would work if we printed actually onto these wooden flags that he makes, and he makes these out of individual pieces of wood. We were just checking on his website, which is youramericanflagstore.com. We're going to put that up here on the video as well if you're interested in getting one of these flags. And this is actually made out of 18 pieces of wood. Little American history. We got 13 flags representing the 13 original colonies. There's 13 pieces of wood. One for the star section. That's 14. And then you got the bad boy frame. 4 pieces there, right? So you got 18 pieces. Actually, we're going to call him on it because there's 2 pieces on the back for support, so there's 20. But 18 sounds good. So what these are individually, they're individually cut. They're flamed, so you get a nice texture to them. You see the texture in the wood. Then they paint them with a light color like stain type paint. Then they coat them with an acrylic. And they put them together. On this, they actually have a template they overlay and they print white. This is your generic standard Old Glory flag you can get from them. However, they've got a marketplace for customization. And a lot of the customization they do is in a silhouette type format, so it's just like a black overlay on top of this. We've been playing around here with all kinds of different ideas. We're going to bounce out him with some fun stuff he could do as well. But this will allow him to consistently be able to reproduce these sharp designs, like there's a 9/11, like Marine Corps things, different types of military type of stuff and whatnot, patriotic type of things. And he has to align things like lines with these boards for wording to go on them and whatnot. To be able to consistently do that by hand, even with a template, could be a bit of work, right? So he wants to be able to do higher levels of production. On top of that, he wants to be able to take customization. You have something that you want put on here, somebody's name and remembrance of or anything like that, being able to reduce that quickly without having to cut a template for it and do it by hand. Digital is just absolutely the way to go. So what we're getting ready to do is going to take this flag that's already been printed. We actually took, from his website, we took the graphic image of this flag, because they're consistent when he produces them, brought it in, scaled it to the actual size of this flag, and that's how we overlaid our artwork to get a good lineup on this. And you'll see it, we're going to line up with, there's one of the lines of text that goes straight down one of these stripes on the board. I mean, other than that, it's just a matter of, just like we always do, set it up in the artwork, overlay it, make sure it's in the right place, send it over to the rip and let it print. Just going to print black ink. If I'm not mistaken, I think when we did a test run on this, 60 to 70 cents worth of ink total on this job. And we're going to let her rip. Okay, so here we are. You all saw it come up on the bed. We turned it around here to give you a good perspective of it. Just want to drive home a couple things. Under $1 worth of ink on this one, right? I think we said around 75, 76 cents worth of ink. It took us right at all day long, 10 minutes to print. Conservatively, let's say, now this is a big design, remember, because we went all the way up here to the top. We actually could have turned it around and made our marketing guys a little happier, had the flag upside down so it was coming out the correct direction for the camera, even though it's not proper orientation for our printing, and actually would have shortened up the strokes a little bit. We could have probably gotten this down to somewhere in the area of 8.5 minutes or so. But this is for a full design. A lot of the designs that this customer uses only come up to about here. So your print time is going to be half that. But let's say conservatively you can do 5 to 6 an hour. So somewhere in the area of 40 to 50 a day. So I mean, that's not like a really big number, but these are not inexpensive items, number one. Number two, if you were doing 50 a day, right, I would challenge you to say that maybe you've got 2 to 2.5 minutes total into each one of interface time between putting it on here, leveling it up on the bed, sending the print job over, and taking it off, all right? So as opposed to when you're hand painting them, as they're doing now with a templating type of system, right? And they're having to actually take the time to do the painting, remove the stencil, move the thing around. While this is printing and embellishing, you're back doing something else. And so that's one of the big benefits. Secondarily, this could be totally custom. This is totally custom. So you could do anything totally custom, whether it's for someone in a memorial type of situation with somebody who was in the military or something like that. can be totally custom, and that just drives your prices straight through the ceiling and also sets you apart from the crowd. An interesting question, I'm sure it's probably going to come when you look at this, is why didn't you print the whole flag? And actually Mark, our marketing guy, asked me that, and then I say, because these are 13 individually painted pieces of wood, right? There's no way, I mean, we're pretty good, we're pretty accurate. There's no way we are going to absolutely print these and nail each piece of these pieces of wood. So they're actually generating each one of these as an individual piece. This is one solid piece as well. And it's the beauty of the beast is that it's made out of that many pieces of wood. This part, this is awesome. Being able to customize on top of it with whatever you want on it. So just another example, printing on wood. This is actually a wood that's got an acrylic coat on it. So it sticks like a son of a gun, really good. We actually did a little adhesion test on it, and it does not rub off, which is awesome. And doesn't add a whole lot so far as the height of the black on top of this, and gives you exactly what you want. We're going to take a second here, take a pause. We'll go ahead and frame this back up and show you what you're going to see when you walk into Cold Essie next time. It's going to be hanging in the lobby. All right, so here we are. We got it framed back up again. We put the frame on, as I mentioned earlier. It came to us already finished. It was basically from their web store. But they would actually, in production, they would actually print these prior to framing them. So we wouldn't have that step that we just went to, and we wouldn't have a video running. All right. As we talked about, 75, 80 cents worth of ink, about 10 minutes print time on this job. Could be much less on a shorter design, as you'll see on their website. If you go up to, you'll see some of their designs are just the bottom part of the flag or whatnot. You could also do it in full color, right? You can do totally custom, whatever you wanted. Like I said, we threw out a lot of different ideas, and because they do these flags with different tones and different colors, you could actually try to tone it to that as well. The beauty of it is you just keep chunking out the flags, right? And as you need, you go through and you print exactly what you need. And there's no worrying about stencils, no worrying about wet ink. When it's done, it's done. It's dry and it's ready to go. And like I said, add full color. You could come into this and add full color. We could have printed white on top of it. A lot of opportunities in the marketplace for custom wood things, if you're a good woodworker. The ability to take those things and add color, add customization. And you can even get effects that look like burning of wood just by printing on top of it. You can make the wood look like a better quality wood. So printing on custom wood design, custom wood products, mixing a little bit of good old American ingenuity and hard work with the wood, with some great technology to add customization and just driving your business to a whole nother level. Cold Essie, this is the Compress IUV 1200S.